All right. Hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I'm your host, John Harris, and today on Rock Metal Podcast, we have Pentral, and they have a new album called What Lies Ahead of Us, released on May 7th of this year. And right now I'm being joined by Victor to share some more information about this release and what the band has got going on. So, Victor, welcome to the show.
Thank you, John, for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here with you, and let's get into it.
Absolutely. I agree. Now, this album, What Lies Ahead of Us, is there a theme to this album? What is this record about?
Absolutely. Actually, all the songs that were recorded in this album, they were written years ago. So they are not actually new songs in the sense that they have been written recently. And it's funny to talk about that because right now, there are some themes that are discussed on the lyrics of the album, of the songs, and I wrote all the songs. I wrote all the lyrics that are that are happening right now in the world, like about awareness, like about racism, like about violence, like about selfishness, and political issues and environment. Environment, it's a theme very present on the album. And it actually deals with a story. It's a whole story about a couple, like two activists, like two persons that live inside the forest, like inside the woods, and they have a kid. And just when they are living in peace, they have to face a threat of land grabbers, which is pretty common here in Brazil. And I believe all over the world, people that are just interested in making the forest turns into money. And that's it. They have to run for their lives, and that's what the songs are about. And they have to come to the city. And in the city, the situation, it's even worse. Because we all know all the issues we have here and all over the world about poverty and hunger and all this stuff. So this is what the songs are about.
Wow. That's an incredibly deep topic, and obviously, like you said, it affects people all over the world, and especially in Brazil. I guess it was pretty...
Funny. It's funny you're talking about that because who draw the cover art? I'm not sure if you watch it, the cover art, if you check it, the cover art of the album. It's amazing. It's an amazing job that was made by a Canadian artist. Her name is Heidi Taillefer. She has worked with Coheed & Cambria. I don't know if you know this band, Coheed & Cambria.
I have.
Yeah, so there's one album of them that Heidi has worked with them, and he has made an amazing job. So I just talked with her, and she loves Brazil, and she's from Canada. And she accepted to work with us, and it was such a pleasure because he has made just the how could I say, he could synthesize, like to express all the ideas of the songs. If you look carefully to the cover art, you can find easily all the things that are discussed on the album, like the city, the woods, the couple, the kid, the environment, the green. There's a lot of green all around. And that's it.
How did you end up getting in touch with the Canadian artist because of the work with Coheed & Cambria? Did you reach out?
No, absolutely not. I was just looking for any artist who could fit inside the project. And I just watched some paintings she has made. She has made amazing paintings. And I just thought she was the perfect person for the job. And when I made contact with her, and we kept in touch, and I just love to talk with her. She completely understood what we were talking about, and she has made an amazing job. I just have to be thankful to Heidi, and I love to work with her. I hope to do it sometime again.
Yeah, well, the next album, Victor.
Yeah, maybe. Actually, we have right now like 5 songs already recorded for the second album. So we just waited for the right time to mix, because our priority right now is to perform live, you know? like we gotta make it. We are planning to make some kind of live presentation, even through a live stream or something like that in September this year. Even with COVID-19 still going strong in Brazil, we believe that with the vaccination going fast, we'll be able to perform live in September.
Yeah. How is the vaccination and everything going right now?
I got vaccinated. And 3 weeks, I believe, ago. So we hopefully be able to, how could I say, retrieve our normal life, our ordinary lives in September, October. Yeah. Actually, I believe the whole world will have to deal with the virus for so many years after. But with the vaccination being so common and usual around the world, I believe we'll have a part of our normal life back, So that's it. We are getting vaccinated here. We had experienced some kind of delay because the lunatic, the crazy the person who is the president of Brazil, I don't know if you listen about this guy. He's a fucking bastard, I would say it. Bolsonaro, yeah. He can be worse than Trump. He absolutely can be worse than Trump. So you can kind of think how bad he is. Wow, man. He's awful. And he has denied all the vaccination effectiveness. So we had a lot of issues about buying the vaccines. But right now we have a good perspective for the next months.
Yeah. He's a character from what I've read in the news. I'll tell you that much, Victor.
Yeah, he's like a clown, and that's what he really is, like he's a bastard, man. What a shame.
It is a shame.
Yeah, absolutely.
These people run for political office to serve the community, and they just rob and steal from the community instead of serving it.
Yeah, absolutely. We can say that for sure, but right now there's an investigation going on in Brazil, and they just have discovered so many robberies and so many illegal acts that have been performed by the president and his staff. So, oh man, it's sad. It's very sad.
Yeah, it is.
We're living right now.
Now, back to the album. I saw that you guys had the chance to work with producer Tim Palmer. So take us through that. How did you guys end up working with Tim?
Yeah, actually, back in the day, I believe 1 year ago when I was... the first plan, John, was not to record an album. The first plan was just to put out a live concert. So we were focused on make rehearsals, and we did a lot to perform live. That was our priority back in the day. But when the COVID-19 came out, we didn't have another option. So we just had to change our plans. The first idea that came up to our minds is, guys, we just have one thing to do if you don't want to stand still during the rest of the year. It was 2020, so we had to go to the recording studio. Actually, in 2019, before 2020, I made a pre-production of all the songs. So I record every single song in my home studio. I have a home studio, a small one, and my brother, who is the drummer, Wagner, has a small studio in his house as well. So we just made a pre-production of the 10 songs and some songs beyond that. And then we go to I just start to look for some producers, some kind of mixers, some engineers who can work with that. I had some bad times trying to do that because most of people were not interested because of COVID-19 restrictions and all this stuff. So the guys just told me, hey, Victor, it's not possible to do it this time. We're living in a pandemic, guy. Are you crazy about that? So, but that's the only option to the band. Just don't stop completely. So I've sent the demos of the songs of these 10 songs that are on the album to many producers. I talked with many guys. I talked with Michael Byhorn, who has worked with some great bands as well. But Tim just showed me, just had presented himself like being the perfect guy for the job, Like he has worked with Porcupine Tree. It's an amazing band. He has worked with Tears for Fears. He has worked with Robert Plant and Ozzy Osbourne and so many famous and big names. And I just thought he is the perfect guy to do the job because he can completely understand the progressive rock language and the heavy metal and the rock and the pop, because there's some passage on our songs when we try to play with pop flavor, if you know what I mean. So that's why he accepted, and he has helped us a lot. And then the first plan was to record in Canada. I talked with Brian Monkers, with an engineer. He was very interested and worked with us in Toronto. And he has a great recording studio in Toronto. But it didn't work because of COVID-19 again. So we came back to the peak very quickly, and the situation changed every single month. So the deaths, casualties in Brazil just returned to be so high, and it wasn't possible, unfortunately. So we just to change our plans again, and then we go to São Paulo to record there with some friends of Tim Palmer. He has recommended us a studio in Brazil. He has worked with many years ago, and it went well. We could do the job and even record, like I told you when we start talking about, like 5 songs to the next album. And that's it. We're pretty excited with the feedback we are getting about the albums. It was an amazing experience working with Tim. Actually, I gotta say, there has happened some, I would say, not tensions, but some struggles during the mixing process. Do you know what I mean? And during the post-production process, like we are pretty much worried and concerned about how much authentic the band can have to sound. Like our Pentral are able to perform live the same way we perform in the studio because we're just 3 guys, and the power trio is the perfect formula to play music in our point of view. So our greatest motto will be Rush. And we love Rush, and that's it. Just 3 guys and nothing else than that. Because if you have, I believe you should have in some band, or you still play in a band, I don't know. But you know, John, when many people in the band, it becomes a problem. It becomes a struggle all the time. Even with just 3 guys, and the drummer is my brother, we just keep fighting all the time because of the arrangements. And Victor, this song is too long. Just please make shorter songs. Your songs are too long, man. And we couldn't stand it. Oh, it's hard. So at the end of the day, we just discussed it a lot with Tim. And I could say that some songs, they have like 10 different versions of mixing. Like one mix with keyboards, one mix with no keyboards at all, one mix with little keyboards, and so on. So it was a big fight. It was a long journey to get the final result of the album. But it was exciting. It was amazing. At the end of the day, it pays off.
Yeah. You brought up a really good point, Victor. I mean, it's amazing what can end up happening on the mixing room floor with what was recorded, and how that ends up shaping what the record sounds like.
Yeah, the problem right now is I was reading about some articles about how the people all over the world are not so much interested in guitar-driven rock compositions, you know. And you can check most famous bands. They are kind of not using that much guitars on the mix, and the guitars just stand a little bit, how can I say, in disguise, you know, like it's not so prominent on the mix. And that's what the biggest point behind the mixing process. How much of guitar should be shown to the listener? And, you know, I'm the singer as well. Actually, I'm a singer who just learned to play guitar. But I'm the primary way of express for myself is to sing. So I just talked with him so many times. Tim, the priority for the album, the priority for the mix is the singing, the voice, because it's the first contact the people have with the song. And that's a good point. What Pentral is looking for is to create songs, not just riffs. I'm not just playing any kind of criticizing, but I've been listening to so many contemporary bands. They just make songs. There's no songs at all. Just a lot of processed guitars and a lot of very heavy song, but you can hardly understand where is the song, like the power of the song. I'm talking about Queen, I'm talking about Led Zeppelin, I'm talking about the Beatles, with at each album of them is different. So that's it. So I talk with him, we gotta listen the guitars. I can listen the guitars. The guitar was too low. So that's it. And the drums, we love drums. My brother is the drummer, and we love Newport and all these guys, like Dave Wacko and the guys from Jazz Fusion as well. There's so many big names out there. And then we had to find the balance between the drum sound and the guitar sound and the voice and the bass, because we love bass guitar as well. The biggest concern here and the greatest issue was that we weren't present during the mixing process because of COVID-19 again. Everything was done remotely. So we just Tim had done his stuff, and then we had a meet through the Zoom call, whatever, and then we discussed about this is good, this is not good. So it was a lot of trouble. It was so much easier if we got together in a single room and worked together at the same time. But unfortunately, this was not possible as well.
Yeah. Okay. Groovy. Well, we've chatted about a lot of things, Victor. We chatted about the artwork, and I spent some time looking up Heidi's work. She's based out of Montreal. So if anybody is interested, I can post a link to her work. It's very fascinating work. And then we chatted about, right now we're finishing up mixing the record. We even took some time to chat about Brazilian politics, which has shown up on the record as well. Chatted about working with Tim Palmer and shopping around for a producer, and inadvertently we've also chatted about COVID quite a bit because that was still happening.
Yeah.
You mentioned you guys are working, you've got 5 songs, you haven't started recording and mixing and such yet. Are you guys working with a label on this release at all?
No. It's everything independent. It's everything self-released, Okay. Yeah, I received personally, as I'm the writer and I could say the leader of the band, I received some proposals, but nothing that made me interested because this is precious for us, John. I would say this is my life, I've been planning to record and to release this band for so many years. So I could say that's right up to this day, I have like 40 songs ready to go, man. So it's a lot of music. There's a lot of stuff to share, and I put so much effort in each song, and I believe in our music. I believe in Pentral like to be a good band, Like, I believe we have good songs, and this is the first step. If you don't believe in your own music, you're just on the wrong side of the story, man. You have to believe in yourself. If you're not, I've heard about it. If you're not excited about your music, there's something very wrong with you. So, because you're the first person who has to be excited about what you are doing. So, if you are not, nobody else will do. So that's how the things work, Yeah. So we are planning to perform live. Our priority right now is to perform live and to prove to people that we are able to perform our songs the way they were recorded in front of audience. I don't know how much time this will take. I don't know if we'll be able to do that next year, but our plan is to make this year.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I guess my last question there is, so you're not looking for a label, or you are looking for a label?
Absolutely. I'm
Okay.
looking for a label. Yeah, absolutely. But it got to be someone who has some kind of connection with progressive music, with the kind of songs we're doing. Okay, like that can be a booster for our work. You know, like not someone that would try to convince them, the band, to change their direction, their artistic direction. This is not what we're looking for. I'm looking for someone to join forces with me, to join forces with the band, like to really support us, and not just thinking about the money, because you and I know that right now there's almost no money at all in music business. So you got, yeah, man, you gotta do that. Not thinking about money, you gotta do that because you really love, because you have. I'm not sure if you have a family like a daughter, but I have my daughter. I have 2 dogs. I have my wife, so I have to give up a lot of time with them just to stay stuck inside of my home studio and just writing new stuff. So you have to pay it off, man. You know, like you gotta love that. Otherwise, you're not going to stand for so many time. That's how that works. You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. What I'm going to do then, Victor, is I know of some labels that do invest in artists and get to know the artists if it's a fit. And if it's not a fit, then obviously they won't, because they only partner with artists that they believe in.
Yeah.
So I'll get you in touch and you can submit your information and chat with them. And if it works out, it works out. That'd be great.
Oh, thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. I'm open to listen to every kind of proposal. Like I told you, since the people are really interested and support us and to make us produce music and good music for our listeners, I really appreciate that, John. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, you seem like a nice young man. You've got a wife and a daughter, and I also have
2
a daughter.
dogs.
2 dogs. I have a wife, a daughter, a son, 1 dog.
Yeah.
We're
I
planning.
have 2 rescue dogs, you know?
All right. Cool. Yeah, we have a rescue dog.
Yeah, I love it. They are very lovely. They all the time with us. And during the pandemic, I would say that the dogs were essential to keep us sane. You know, like we could go anywhere. I don't know how the things went in Canada, but here in Brazil, we everything was shut down. So. We just had to stay inside our apartment, and the dogs were seminal and were essential to keep our sanity. You know?
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, Victor, that concludes all of my questions. So, did I miss anything?
Yeah, just talking about the songs. No Real Color and Souls and The Shower Living In are the last 2 videos we just released in our YouTube channel. So I'd like to ask anyone who is listening to us, who will be listening to this podcast, to check this out, because the videos were made with so much love, with so much passion. And there's a new one coming out this Friday. After tomorrow, we will drop a new music video, like Emulator, like it's the band. We are playing live at this time, and we just made it in an empty theater, and it's quite nice. And I appreciate the guys out there who check this out. It's for the song Disconnected. So this Friday there's a new video coming out. Please check out. That's it. We'll be staying out there for many years, and so stay tuned, guys.
Yeah.